I normally record these and then upload them the next day at 10 a.m. But I feel like just uploading this one. What is up, Fin fans? We got some things to talk about that came out today. I finally have time to sit down and talk about them. So I got some updates. First thing we're going to talk about is the update on the defensive coordinator position and Vic Fangio. And then we're going to talk about Tua Tagovailoa and the fact that he is still in concussion protocol. We'll get some more behind the scenes on that. We'll hear what his parents have to say. But like I said, normally this is the time I normally record videos, and then I'll schedule them to be uploaded at 10 a.m. the next day. I said it's a Friday. Let's watch. I'm just going to upload it. You guys can take a listen. And if you're watching this on Saturday morning when you wake up, good morning. Hope you have a nice cup of joe. Nice, healthy breakfast. Start to your day. And if you're watching this on Sunday, hope you have a good football Sunday. But let's jump into this mamma jam. Well, first and foremost, we're going to talk about the defensive coordinator situation. And there were so many back and forths. So essentially, if you watch the short, we interviewed Vic Fangio, we interviewed Desai, we interviewed Richard, then we brought in Anthony, our linebacker coach, forgot his last name, today for me, yesterday for if you're watching this. It's midnight, so it depends on your day. And then Josina Anderson, who also came out the other day and said the other thing, I'm told Frank Reich, who is now Rich Reich, whatever, who is now the Panthers head coach, would like to have Vic Fangio join his staff to coordinate the defense momentum gathering for that hire per league. Sources could take the Panthers, making Fangio the highest paid defensive coordinator in the NFL. Now, if you guys remember a little while back, Vic, she said the same thing about Vic Fangio in an interview. She put it in quotes, and then she said, details to be blah, 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 this, and that. Then Jeremy Fowler came out and he said, and this is literally, look at the time here. I don't know if you could see it. 7:08 p.m. Literally was about 16 minutes before she put that out. Jeremy Fowler said, one name to watch for Panthers defensive coordinator and Frank, whatever, how you pronounce his last name, staff, is Jets safety coach Marquand Manuel. He made a strong impression in his interview. According to sources, Carolina hasn't made a call on the job and could talk to more people, but he's in the mix. And then Joe Pearson at 10:20 p.m. came out and said, Panthers have had a follow-up discussion with Vic Fangio since he interviewed for the defensive coordinator position, but a deal is considered unlikely at this point per source. So what I'm getting from this one is they contacted Vic and said, hey, we really want to give you the job or whatever. This is what we're offering you money-wise. What do you think? And he probably said, you know what? To me, it's really going to come down to blank and blank. And if you want my opinion, I think it's coming down to Miami and Philadelphia. I think if Philly gets eliminated from the playoffs on Sunday and then their defensive coordinator gets a head coaching job, then it's going to be down to that. He's going to decide where he wants to go. If the defensive coordinator again decides, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to stay with Philly, don't be surprised if by Monday, Vic Fangio is the Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator / assistant head coach. Do not be surprised by that. But that is the updates I have for you for the defensive coordinator position. It seems like it's Vic Fangio's job to lose. Essentially, I've heard Mike McDaniel has, I'm hearing from fans and from people on Twitter saying Vic Fangio is a very, no nonsense type of coach, and how is he going to mesh with Mike McDaniel? They actually have a good relationship, and that's the reason why Vic Fangio is considering going to Miami, is because of Mike McDaniel. So how are they going to take it? The people like to make stuff up to fit their narrative. It always makes me laugh, but it seems like it's between Miami and it's between Philly. And again, it all depends on Philly's defensive coordinator. The other thing I want to talk about, and again, more news happens and all that stuff. I'll get you all the information you need. Marcel Louis Jacques came out with an article. Essentially, Tua Tagovailoa is still in concussion protocol, and he's going to miss the Pro Bowl, sources say. And it's a short article, so we're going to talk about it because there's some tidbits in there. You guys know I love my tidbits that I find interesting, and then we're going to listen to what his parents had to say. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa remains in concussion protocol and will not participate in next week's Pro Bowl, source told ESPN. Tua has been named the first alternate Pro Bowl and was set to replace either Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes when with both quarterbacks playing in Sunday's AFC Championship game and one bound for the Super Bowl. However, Tua entered protocol on December 26th after suffering a concussion in Miami's loss to Green Bay. And then he didn't play in the wildcard game. According to a source, Tua's time in protocol has been deliberate as he meets with multiple doctors and specialists. There has not been any setbacks as the Dolphins prioritize his long-term health. So what I'm getting from that, Tua's time in protocol has been deliberate, and as he meets with multiple doctors and specialists, there has not been any setbacks as the Dolphins prioritize his long-term health. It seems like the fact that he's had multiple concussions in a year, and the fact that he had a concussion and I didn't even realize it because he wasn't showing any symptoms until the next day when he was breaking down film, and McDaniel looked at him and was like, you don't remember? Essentially, this is what happened. The Monday after the Packers game, they were in breaking down film, and he said to Tua, what was your thought process in this read? And he said, I don't remember that play, coach. Go see the doctor. Plain and simple. McDaniel even said it. He didn't remember a play or why this happened. Sent him to go see a doctor. So now they were being uber cautious with him. They put him in concussion protocol. And again, there has been no setbacks. It's not like all of a sudden he regressed or all of a sudden this or that happened. It's just they're being overly cautious with him because head injuries are nothing to joke about, even though people want to joke about it. I find it so funny that people want to joke about, other human beings' mental health and their health in general. It's not something to make fun of. It's ridiculous. The third-year quarterback set career highs in passing yards, touchdowns this season while leading the NFL in pass rating, one of the youngest, if not the youngest, since Dan Marino did it, 94, I think it was, to have the highest passer rating. He was also a top vote getter in Pro Bowl fan voting. Tua missed the better part of 6 games after suffering concussion in Week 4 and Week 16. Oh, wait a second. Let me read that again. Tua missed the better part of 6 games after suffering concussion in Week 4 and Week 16. 2 concussions? Dolphins general manager Chris Greer said earlier this month that the team will enter the 2020 season as Tua as the starter, and the doctors have spoken. Do not believe the quarterback's concussions will leave him more susceptible to head injuries moving forward. The Dolphins have till May 1st deadline to exercise the 5th-year option on Tua's rookie contract. That is a video in itself I'm going to talk about. Complete video on itself where I talk about should they pick up his 5th-year option. I have a lot of videos on him, a lot of videos on a lot of things. So essentially Tua, concussion, and he's still in it, and they're being incredibly, they're doing their due diligence and making sure that everything is all right with him, but he won't be playing in the Pro Bowl from sources. I do find it iffy. Like, he could just say, he's going to back out of the Pro Bowl. That's fine. Some players do that. They're still injured, whether it's a knee or shoulder or whatever, and in all actuality, they just don't feel like dealing with a Pro Bowl game that means nothing to them. But the fact that he's still in concussion protocol and he hasn't been cleared is iffy to me, right? It's been a while. It's been a while, and if you're keeping him in it just to be safe, then okay, but it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird that he's still in it. Like, you could take him out of concussion protocol and still have him see all these specialists and make sure he's okay. It's just weird to me. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. So let's see what Tua's parents had to say.
The power of prayer is truly amazing, and I mean, not only locally in the United States, but globally. I mean, across the globe, everyone was just praying, in agreement for his healing and just for our healing as well. As parents, we don't ever want to see our children hurt. So
that's true.
Just the prayers have been so comforting, and we're so grateful.
He's great. He's doing fine. He's happy. And that's the most important thing, right? As parents, you like to see your kids a smile on their face when you walk into their house and their home. But he's doing great. And we thank you guys for everything, man. The support, Hawaii, Samoa, New Zealand, globally. Those of you that supported our son and us and our family, thank you so much. Thank you.
Is there any doubt that he comes back and plays football next year?
Oh, he comes back. Yeah, he comes back. You know what I'm saying? And that's their guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They love him. We love them and what they're doing and how they're, helping him with his recovery and everything else, trying to get him back. Still going through his protocol, but, man, we're grateful for them, too. Very thankful for Miami, the organization, the owner, and so is Greer and, as a GM, and then head coach Mike. That guy's special. Very.
So, they said he's coming back. They're very thankful, to the fans and the support and, everybody. Yeah, even Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel said that he's the starter next year. Could they go back on their word? 100%. They could be like, yeah, well, no, we're going to go in this direction, whatever. But yeah, I just want to give you an update on Tua's situation, give you an update on the defensive coordinator situation. Again, as I'm sitting here listening, right, and even his parents said he's still going through protocol. There's not much. There's no practice. I'm trying to make sense of it while I'm recording this video. I'm trying to make sense of how he's still in concussion protocol, because if you go back and watch when he initially went to concussion protocol, I gave you the different stages. Stage 4 is like extraneous work and exercise without physical contact, and stage 5 is the physical contact, and then you're cleared. There's not going to be any physical contact because they're not practicing anymore, but you could still clear him. That's, I don't know. The fact that he's still, again, obviously, I wouldn't expect him to play the Pro Bowl, regardless. And I think it's flag football now. I don't think it's anything crazy. But the fact that he's still in concussion protocol, it's just weird to me. But like I said, more information I get, I will give it to you, especially on the update on defensive coordinator. If news breaks tomorrow and we sign one, I'll get you a video. If news breaks, I doubt news was going to break on Sunday while the games are going on. It'll probably break on Monday. Again, so I think if you want an answer about who our DC is, you're going to root for the 49ers, because you kind of want the Eagles to be done with, so they can make their decision and then the Dolphins can make theirs, or Fangio can make his. But other than that, I will see you guys. I think I'm going to go live Sunday. A lot of you guys were like, hey, go live. And I always have fun hanging out, watching football and chatting with you guys. So I think I'll go live for the Chiefs-Bengals game. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. F on top.